Hello there, welcome to Club PlayStation, Club Xbox, Level 4. Join us today is the one and only Mr. Jason Novak. Welcome, Jason.
The man, the myth, the legend. How's it going, Tim?
Good, good. No Aaron today. He's got some personal stuff to take care of. Um, and should be back next time. Uh, and yeah, they'll be all good. Um, we recorded this morning an hour all about No Man's Sky. We'll have some more stuff to say on it, I'm sure, as every time I play it, there's new exciting things to talk about. And we'll get to that a little bit. I've also been playing Quantum Break. I finished another act, so I got two more acts to go until I'm done. And I'm really enjoying that game. It's good,
I
good,
didn't realize
good
you had even
experience.
started it.
Yeah, I started a while ago, and I'm slowly making my way through. It's five acts, so over halfway done. It's a fun experience for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and there is some Quantum Break news in the PC realm. Talk about later on in the show.
Yes.
So let's start. Let's actually start with Xbox news this week, and the Xbox One S is now available. This is the slim, sexy, white version of the Xbox One with the integrated power supply and all sorts of cool things like no more Connect built in as a plug. Uh,
Well, actually, we've got multiple things with the Xbox One S to talk
there
about.
are. The first, I think, just the specs are mildly different. Um, so the two notable things in the specs is the GPU clock. The original one is 853 megahertz. I think that's what that stands for. MHZ is
Yes.
that? Yeah. And then the new
Megahertz.
one is 914 megahertz. So very slightly increased there. Then
It should
comp.
be it should be
Yeah.
pointed out for anybody that doesn't know, though, it is being run off the same chip, meaning they're pretty sure they just overclocked the chip that was already in there.
Yeah. So same CPU, which is a 1.75 gigahertz AMD Jaguar quad core, and the same GPU, 12 compute units. And the compute performance is a little bit higher at 1.4 teraflops versus 1.31 teraflops. And then the SRAM bandwidth is slightly higher at 219 gigabytes versus 204 gigabytes. So very slight increases that you probably won't ever see in actual usage, but it's cool that they're there.
Yeah.
Um, and audio bitstream, there's an update coming for Xbox One S sometime, and this will make the audio sound better. I'm trying to wrap my head around what exactly this is going to do.
I think it's going to allow for more, dynamic full range sound if you're using, nice systems type of thing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking up the article there.
Also, while you're looking at that, other Xbox One S news. First of all, I think it is absolutely, I'm going to use an odd word here, but precious that every Xbox One S has a little Master Chief inside of it.
Isn't that brilliant?
I think
Tiny
that's
one
great.
just in there.
But the bigger news related to it is this has helped Xbox for the first time in like 18 months, I think, take top sales for the month
Yeah,
of.
NPD.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 is not the number one. In fact, it's not even the number two if you count 3DSs, which actually outsold the PS4 in addition to the Xbox One, which Xbox One is the highest selling console. And that 2 terabyte system is starting to sell out, definitely in Europe, and I believe here in the States it's becoming not that widely available.
That's also something else that I was going to talk about is how crazy it is that the 2 terabyte model for them was a limited time thing. They
That
said
was
they weren't.
announced at the E3. It was a limited
Was it?
edition. Yeah, that was in the
Oh, that's
original announcement
so
that was
stupid.
limited. Yep. Which they're having the 2 terabyte red system come out in October, and of course they're having the bundles of 500 and a terabyte later this month. This one is unbundled. It's like the least attractive one from a price point to buy.
And yet it's
Uh,
still selling out.
well, limited. I wonder how many they're shipping. Right? Is this limited
Now,
quantities?
yeah, I don't know how many, but it still doesn't change the fact it's the least attractive bundle and it's still selling out.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
People people want their. I guess I wonder how many of these are just 4K advocates that want a 4K Blu-ray player, and they also like having Xbox and all that. You know.
I don't know, because if they were just a 4K advocate, you would think that they would have already gotten their PS4.
What do you mean?
PS4, I thought supported 4K Blu-rays, not 4K gaming.
Does
Are you
not
sure?
support 4K Blu-rays. Now, when both of the consoles were announced, I could have sworn that both systems said 4K video is supported or will be kind of line at their conferences. But I think that's all bullcrap. And the Neo, one of the Neo's things will be 4K video and Blu-rays and all that. But yeah, Microsoft beat Sony to the punch with 4K Blu-ray for sure. Neo will be the first console that does that for PlayStation, which is, yeah. Which I guess I'm not sure if I put this in the news for Sony. Did I? We got some. Did we talk about this last time? Oh, never mind. It's in the news. We'll talk about Neo. Neo
Okay, for the
announcements
record,
at some
real
point.
quick, wait. Double checking. The PS4 supports 4K output, but only for photos and videos, not games.
Yes, but there's the disk drive does not support 4K Blu-rays.
However, 4K streaming, it does have
Does
4K output.
the Netflix app is it updated for 4K? Like I'm wondering if the apps need support too, right?
Honestly, I don't know. However, if you have 4K content on a drive and you use the media player, you should be able to do it that way.
Does the PS4 support external hard drives? I don't believe it
Yes.
does.
Yes, it does. I have put content on an external drive and played it on my PS4.
I could have sworn it didn't support external. Can you install games on the external?
I don't know about games because I don't do that. But I know it works for media because
Okay, that is
I
good to know.
download a lot of media. We'll put it politely.
Download media. Yeah, I
And
get all mine on through iTunes. That's not 4K yet. I don't believe.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it does support 4K video. So while it doesn't support 4K Blu-ray, though, I don't think there are really that many 4K Blu-rays out right now.
They're starting to be more widely available. A couple months ago they launched, and it's going to be a big for Blu-ray thing. I think. You
Yeah.
know, they're releasing them now.
But yeah, so I had to point that out. No, don't get me wrong. It's still
Sure.
great. It's still great. The Xbox One S is a darn fine piece of hardware. But most people's opinion on the review is if you don't have a 4K TV, the Xbox One S is probably not worth it.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair thing to say. You do get that fancy nice controller, which is also available separately. A lot of people are saying just wait till Scorpio comes out, but if you need an Xbox, it's like if you need a Mac.
Yeah.
Mac's a bad example. If you need a Mac today, wait because they're all like 4 years old.
But you can never. The point is, you can never guarantee upgrade cycles. If you need something right now,
Exactly.
yes,
That's how tech
Xbox One
works. That's how
is a
tech
good
works.
option.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did you Ben-Hur the video game? Did you see this come out for Xbox One? This is the
No,
most hilarious release ever.
I didn't see it come out, but I did see that it did come out out of nowhere. I'm traveling right now, so I don't have my Xbox with me. But yeah.
So this is a free-to-play game on Xbox One, released by AOL.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's not on any other platforms, to my knowledge, and I believe it just includes 3 chariot horse races, and this thing is hilariously bad. So it's 764 megabytes to download, and of course inspired by the new film, which I don't know why the heck they're remaking such a classic, only to probably ruin it.
I'm
But
hopeful.
I'm not. Come on. You don't need to
Look,
remake Ben-Hur. It's like, let's remake Casablanca. You don't need to remake Gone with the Wind. You don't need to remake, like... It's a classic. Come on.
there are some differences there. For example, Gone with the Wind and Casablanca, they weren't the style that is Ben-Hur, the gladiatorial combat and everything like that. The bigger effects in cinema can actually add to a remake of that movie.
Okay. I'm just saying the original Spartacus, still probably the best. Even though I did like the TV miniseries. I had a weird connection in high school with that one. I enjoyed that, but yeah,
Oh my
yeah. I don't
God, you
know.
were in high school for that?
I think I was in high school or middle school. I'm not sure which.
Oh, Shiza, you're hurting me.
You're old, aren't you?
Oh.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, Ben Hur. It is now a part of my account because I follow a lot of Twitter feeds of like when like I own so much free DLC of all these Xbox games that I don't own, like the Star Wars game on PS4. I own some free DLC because I saw a tweet go out that hey, this is free, so it's on my account. So I'll play it. I like racing games. We'll see how terrible this is. Not expecting good things. Um, I mentioned Quantum Break earlier, and
Yes.
there's a PC release coming that's pretty intriguing to me. So it's called Quantum Break Timeless Collector's Edition. This is a physical disc release. It's up for $40 or $31.99 if you have the 20% discount with Prime. And it's it's a lot of discs because I believe it includes the full out video series that goes along with this. And if you remember with Quantum Break, you make decisions. So there's
Yes.
actually multiple. You can watch this in multiple ways as you make different decisions. It's coming out September 14th, 2016, and this is pretty interesting because PC is historically so digital based, and they normally don't have discs, if I'm remembering correctly, right? Or I didn't think discs were a thing with PC anymore.
Well, it depends. I mean, if it's a box copy, yeah, you still get a disc, but most people just buy things through Steam or whatever digital storefront.
Yeah, but this is pretty cool. Um, so I just want to mention that. Not that we do PC, but it's related to Xbox, the big, one of their big
Yes.
exclusives.
Um,
Yep.
Another two Xbox related things. One, Microsoft has acquired a company called Beam. It's a live streaming service, and I don't know if it's kind of like the Gaikai that Sony bought or
Okay.
what they're going to use it for, but it is kind of one of those. It seems like Sony and Microsoft both are turning this. They're fulfilling the this might be the last quote generation, even though the Neo and the Scorpio could easily be called a new generation.
I
But I
think
think that
PS5 will happen.
I don't know.
I think Xbox, this is the last gen.
I think that both companies are working towards getting rid of that named generation type of thing,
I
and
think they
yeah,
like it to sell units, and I think going forward, it'll always. We talked about this before. I think it'll be, in my opinion at least, it'll be fully backwards compatible. But I think they'll do generations at least for PlayStation still, because I think Sony likes the idea of having minimum spec requirements for say PS5 games, and I think Microsoft's more comfortable with the slider scales that they do on PC. I'm not sure Sony is as comfortable with that feature. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not.
oh, I understand. I just
Yeah,
I don't know. Both of them have invested in a lot of technology to extend the life or take some of the pressure off of that end unit that you have on your shelf, and it's making for some really interesting stuff to come, I think.
totally agree. Yeah.
The other very specific Microsoft Xbox related news that I had was they are going to be doing another Halo Wars 2 beta. They haven't set an exact date, but early 2017. Apparently, the first beta was just problem ridden left, right, and center. And it looks like this is kind of one of those. It's the new thing, especially in the gaming space, are these open betas and test plays and everything like that. So I'm not too surprised. Once we have a date, we'll make
Yeah.
sure and let everybody know.
Cool deal. Any other Xbox news?
I'm sorry. Gears of War 4. They are, ramping up coverage on it and everything. And apparently, there are going to be additional characters that you can get as a pre-order bonus. And I'm wondering if there's going to be some store exclusive characters. Just kind of one of those. Yeah, I don't like pre-order bonuses that give you content that you can't get in other ways, and
I agree. I'm the same way. Don't like that stuff.
so
On to cross-platform news.
yes.
Cool deal.
Um, let's see. First thing, The Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition.
Have you
That
played
is
this game, the regular edition at least?
Yes, I have. I own it.
Are
Um,
you a fan? It sounds like.
oh, I am quite a fan. It was
Okay.
very, very good.
You play. I'm not very familiar with this. Do you play as a witch?
You play as a Witcher. He
It's like a
it
male
is a
witch.
no. It's
Okay.
in this world. Witchers are essentially people who have access to magic, but it's more than just they have access to magic. They're kind of like mercenaries in this world.
Okay.
It's a little hard to explain, but it was a really amazing game. Just one of the biggest games that came out. Um, and unlike, say, Fallout 4, where everybody looks at Fallout 4 and they say, oh, this game is so big, and then they forgive some of its foibles and some of the oddness from things just not working right in the Fallout games. They're like, oh, that's so funny. The Witcher was just massive and everything worked. There weren't all these random glitches in the game and also a lot of the crazy stuff that happens in Fallout. And it was a gorgeous game, good story. I haven't finished it yet because it's one of a list of multi-100-hour games that I own.
Yeah.
But it was very
It's
good.
listed for $50 on August 30th. So very, very, very soon.
I honestly, I probably won't purchase it because all that it's going to do is basically bundle all the DLC and stuff in. And I honestly didn't even get the DLC in the first place. The game itself, by itself, is ginormous. You don't need DLC
Yeah.
for it.
I really don't like
Um,
their box art. I have a gripe.
really?
It seems so lame. Big, bold at the top and gold. Complete edition. As if you were buying an incomplete game for the other edition. Like, there's a better way to phrase that, I feel, that doesn't, like, sound
I
as, like,
understand.
yeah. I mean, I guess
I will
it,
say,
yeah.
one of the things about The Witcher 3, I got I think I pre-ordered it through Best Buy, so I got a steelbook that came with it. But the physical copy of The Witcher 3, every copy in the game had a letter from CD Projekt Red, who is the developer, basically saying, thanks for buying our game.
Cool. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
a,
so yeah.
did you play Witcher 1 or 2? This is your first one?
This was my first Witcher game.
Easy jumping off point story-wise and all that?
I had no problem jumping into the game.
Okay, cool. Brief mention. This is PC again, but it just touched a soft part of my heart. For $9 via Good Old Games, PC digital downloads of 16-bit Disney games like The Jungle Book, The Lion King, and Aladdin are available. Did you ever get into these on your Sega Genesis and like your other old systems?
Yes, I did. Like pretty much every one of those, especially Aladdin.
Yeah,
I,
great.
I played the mess out of the Aladdin and Lion King.
Lion King was my jam, man.
Yeah.
Lion King, so good, so hard.
Kind of going back, but it's still cross-platform news. The Witcher has a card game in it called Gwent, Gwent,
Mm-hmm.
and the card game in there at E3 they announced would be getting a standalone Gwent game, and there was supposed to be a closed beta for it in September, but that closed beta got pushed back to October 25th.
Okay. How hard is it to do beta of a card game? I'm joking.
No, I understand, but apparently they took the card game, but then it's not just the card game. Everybody who played it said they've added a lot to the game to open it up and make it able to stand alone by itself. I'll be honest, I actually was not fond of the Gwent game. It just didn't really work for me, but lots of people loved it, so.
Cool. Titanfall 2, some info on the single player came out this week, or this last week. You're going to be playing as Jack Cooper, a militia rifleman who dreams of piloting his own Titan. And yeah, so there's a lot of info. If you're curious about that, you can look it up and go into it. Um, I'm not sure if there's much more to say. Are you excited for Titanfall 2?
Actually, I am. I
So this
enjoyed
comes
Titan.
out at like the week that everything comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not buying it at launch or anything.
Yep.
I mean, heck, from October through the end of the year, if it's not Final Fantasy 15 or doesn't have the letters VR attached to it, I'm probably not going to be too interested in it.
Yeah, I'll be curious what purchases I'll make this holiday. So I'll be curious how much I'll just be in No Man's Sky for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just it. Is I told
Once
you,
VR comes out, I just I'll be in the VR No Man's Sky, with the cinematic mode.
I've
Boom.
got this giant collection of games with just hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay to them that I almost don't buy games anymore just because why?
Right.
Um, how about other cross-platform news? How about that wonderful $130 Battlefield 1 Collector's Edition that doesn't come with Battlefield 1?
What's that?
You know, Battlefield 1 is coming out this November.
Yeah, the World War One game.
You can get a $130 Collector's Edition that
Hmm.
does not include the game.
No digital code.
Nope, does not
That's what
include
they
the game.
should do. Digital codes would be awesome at retail. So what's it include?
It will have a 14-inch statue, an exclusive steelbook, a
But there's
cloth,
no game.
yep, a cloth poster, a deck of
Uh-huh.
playing cards, a messenger pigeon tube
So
containing
it's got a game. It's got a card game.
not the game.
You
uh,
just play war. That's the
a
ultimate
messenger
battlefield.
pigeon tube containing DLC, exclusive DLC,
DLC.
premium packaging, and a
Hmm.
patch, but not the game.
A patch, like for your jacket.
Yes.
Okay. So you play war, and that's basically what World War One was, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's problem solved. You just play your card game and enjoy life,
Yeah.
and just visualize the war in your head.
Basically, though, you can spend. It's just ridiculous because who
Is
would
there a limited
spend?
edition that includes the game?
Well, I mean, there's a $190 edition, which is basically throw $60 on top of it. That gets you the disc.
Is this
Um,
for question? This is this for people that want to buy digital and still want their stuff?
it could be. I mean, it could just be if you want to have it digitally, but you like having because Call of Duty and Battlefield games have had just cool collector's boxes
I
and
feel
stuff
that they
like
should just
that.
throw the digital. There should be a digital version, and then the more expensive one had the game in it.
Hmm.
They should do both versions. They should have here's it with the digital code, here's it with the disc. Because I, for some games like No Man's Sky, I would have loved to have the big old edition with the code.
Because I still prefer my physical copies. I will say though, I am okay if they were to start doing that. I just
Yeah.
would hate. I want to make sure that anything that does not come with the disc included, it had better be very, very, very blatantly obvious. Because I would be very angry to go buy a case and come home and have to download a game.
Yeah, I mean the back of the box would say what's included. It digital copy the game, internet connection required, and then all the other stuff that's listed there.
I want it
Um,
clear, not like little
well, it'd be
text.
big. It'd be big. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid series has now sold 49.2 million copies worldwide, up 7.5 million in the last 12 months. I've never played one of these games. It's on my to-do list at some point to dig into the series.
It's still not profitable at that. The
It is
amount that
not?
they no, the amount that they put into Metal Gear Solid 5 alone.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Okay. It's a lot of copies, though.
yes, it is. That's part of the reason that Konami is getting out of that AAA game publishing is because they
Yeah.
put all this money into these
Pachinko
giant.
machines, right? What do they call them? That's what
Yeah,
they're.
pachinko.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a new business model.
But I mean, can you blame them if you have to put, 250, $300 million into a game to develop it and then you can't even guarantee making that money back?
Yeah. It sucks. And then Disney Infinity will shut down online services March 3rd, 2017, so no more level sharing. Bye bye.
That I think it's the fact that Disney Infinity got closed was bad enough because they had a lot of fans, but
They
the
did.
fact that it's another example of something that it's about to be gutted, and everybody who put
Mm,
money into it now is screwed.
basically. Basically. And then Farming Simulator 17 out
I
October
cannot,
25th.
I cannot
Is this
believe that
cross-platform? Is this?
I believe so.
I know it's PS4.
And
Features
I know they.
trains. Features trains and pigs. Jason,
Oh my!
and pigs. Are you excited?
I can't believe that they're up to 17 with that.
That's a big number there, isn't that? This must be great, right? Oh
I can
boy.
actually tell you though, my 11-year-old who has an Xbox 360 um, last year was actually interested in trying to pick up a farming simulator game. So I guess they're, and mind you, we're not exactly the kind of people that care about farming.
So the Farming Sim 17 brings pigs to the roster. On the harvesting side, you also have sunflowers and other new crops to plant and harvest. Some require specialized equipment, like the Cage IH9230. All these features are available on our brand new North American map, Goldcrest Valley. So, I mean, we're teaching our youth how to become farmers. It's exciting.
That's just stupid. I'm sorry.
um, I really want, or I want one of the trucking simulator games to come to console. Are those out?
Especially, I don't think there are any on the console
There should
though.
be. I've
Uh,
heard amazing things about just driving your semi truck around.
I've heard everybody who plays
They
them
love
seems to
them.
really enjoy them.
I want VR, PSVR trucking simulator.
I can tell you, and you're talking the what is it, the Crossroad or Trucker or something
Yeah,
like that.
there's an America one, and I believe in Europe they have a version.
Um, I can
Great.
tell you there was a game I played at an arcade 100 years ago that was a truck simulator type of game.
Yeah.
Except it was it would be better described as um, kind of like Crazy Taxi meets Trucking Simulator. Not
Okay.
literally Crazy Taxi; it's not that bad, but that more arcadey style gameplay. Because the Truck Simulator games are really not so much games as much as those
Simulators.
those experiences. So
I
yeah,
want to know what it's like to drive a semi truck.
I have driven a semi, and
Is it
it's really
exciting?
not that. No.
Well, can you run cars off the road? I'm
Well,
joking.
I drove a semi in Iraq, so
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, I want to try it on a highway.
they have highways in Iraq.
Oh, I assumed as much, but you drive on same side of the road as you do here.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh boy.
Try not to sound too xenophobic there.
Xenophobic? What's that?
Uh,
You afraid of xenomorphs from
no, it's
Alien?
more like cultures who are insular and afraid of other cultures. Don't
Oh, I
really know
love
much
other
about them.
cultures. I just haven't traveled as much as I want to. Anyway,
Okay. Yeah.
PlayStation news. Let's get to it. A bunch of VR news this week.
Well, you know what? Before we even start with VR, I think the biggest thing we have to mention is they have officially confirmed that September 9th event.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that's kind of a big deal, right? Yeah.
considering while they haven't said it, everybody pretty much knows that that event is where they're going to officially announce the
So
PlayStation.
this isn't officially announced by Sony. This is officially announced by press that have really, 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 really good sources.
Well, Sony has confirmed the event.
Oh, they have.
Yes.
Gotcha. So the event will
September
take
7th at 3
place,
p.m.
yeah, in New York City. Is where this event will be, and September 7th, you said,
Yes.
which is a little bit under a month to go.
Height.
And
About 3 weeks.
yeah, so the Neo, which at this point I'm not expecting this to come out this holiday.
Why not?
Um, feels too quick. I also feel, with the PSVR, I wonder if it would distract from that and having people buy Neo instead of VR.
I don't know. I will tell you, I'm torn because I don't really think it's too quick. I mean, for example, Apple announces an iPhone and has it available 3 weeks later or 3 days later. They've got it,
True.
you know. But I think while it could be a quick timetable to have it out by Christmas, I also think they need to really jump back on the momentum before the Scorpio comes out, because if all the rumors are true and the Scorpio is still more powerful than the Neo, they need to get it out as soon as possible to get as much momentum as they can as soon as possible.
Yeah, the thing we don't know is if Neo has been beefed up since Scorpio was announced.
Even if it's been beefed
That's the variable.
Even if it's been beefed up, it's still the way industry insiders made it seem was even beefing it up, they basically would have had to go back to the drawing board from square one to be a competitor.
Which I'm not. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Which, if they did that, then no, it's not coming out this year.
Yeah, so
If they
it's
didn't do that,
mhm,
then it's coming out. I mean, they could still probably
sure.
get hella close, but I'm just really curious. And I do acknowledge if they've got two $400 products on store shelves, one has to cannibalize the other.
I wonder if they'd do a bundle where you save $100 on VR by getting the Neo
Screw
bundle.
it. This is the PlayStation box. You get a Vita, a PlayStation Neo, and a PSVR, and it's gonna run. It's $1,000.
That would be amazing. Oh yeah, the Vita too, because this is not on my links, but I heard there was some FCC thing of some new Vita stuff, and there might be a new Vita revision.
I don't see that happening.
Like a revision, a minor
I
revision.
I still don't even see that happening. The Vita is so dead on arrival. I mean, I like it. I mean, I brought it with me on my trip that I'm on right now. I love my Vita, but it does not justify any further
Well,
money
they're hard to find in store shelves, so maybe they need a refresh there to beef it
because
up
nobody
again.
has them because they're hard to
I
find
did
because
so a couple weeks ago. Target had a cartwheel sale on PS3s. You save like I think either 50 or $100 on any PS3, but their website does not list PS3s, and there's no way to search store inventory online for PS3s. And so the only you have to manually check stores by going there and calling. I was at Target today and noticed there was a PS3 12 gigabyte for available for it's either 150 or 200. But it's amazing. About a year ago, you used to be able to find PS3s widely available. Now they're getting hard to find PS3. So
they are.
yeah, if you want a new one, now's your
And
chance before
I
they're
really
totally
think
gone.
that Sony is moving away from the PS3, and I think that essentially the PSVR is going to become a third platform for them instead
I
of
hope it
supporting.
becomes one of the games with
Yes,
yeah,
PS
PS
Plus.
Plus games. Would be great.
Yeah, if they drop PS3 and start giving away PSVR games or experiences, that way,
That would be so good.
yeah. Here's hoping. We got a
Speaking of
little over a month.
VR, at ACGHK 2016. This is a Japanese event. Shuhei Yoshida did a couple things in this announcement here. He made it clear that Neo is not required. Said all the games showcased at this event were running on standard units. Neo was not at all at this event, as we're saying it's going to be in September. And this is a quote that we believe that everyone can enjoy the entertainment content on PSVR, not just gamers, but a lot more people enjoy PSVR. So he's thinking non-game experiences will be a big part of this at some point. And I think some of the launch games are more experiences, like you're in a Shark Tank and it's more of that, where it's not even, I wouldn't even call that a game, where it's more like non-gamers can enjoy this. You can give this to your mom and or dad, and they'll have a cool time. You know.
I'm down.
What's that?
I'm down.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a lot of announcements on those new games. Uh, 13 more games in development in Asia. We have Ace Banana, Stifled, Oh, My Genesis VR, Weeping Doll, Pixel Gear, Phantom World, Dying Reborn, The School Swan Song, Mortal Blitz VR, The Occasional Encounter. That sounds so dirty. It really does. Mix Up, Kill X VR, Unearthing Mars, and not on this list, but also announced was a Drive Club edition of VR that will be a brand new game. And that's the one I'm most excited for. That's one I will probably want to buy a wheel and some pedals and a seat that rumbles. And I just want to be driving in VR. That sounds great.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of racing, but
But VR, man,
I am interested in trying it in VR terms. Yes.
right? Uh, so imagine being on a motorcycle like they have arcades that in VR. Oh man,
Well,
oh man.
I have an actual momotorcycle, so yeah.
And then they get a road rash game where you have a move controller and you hit people. Oh, that'd be so great. You have a fan that like is connected to your console over USB, and the fan it changes the RPM based on how fast you're going. This could be an amazing future.
Like I said, I have an actual motorcycle, Tim, so I'm good there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean the VR version could be a lot of fun. Um, and then here's we mentioned. Did we mention the cinematic mode before? I think we did.
I believe we did. Where basically, if it's not a VR game, you'll still be able to use the PSVR to essentially have like an IMAX-like experience.
Yes, and that's been great for No Man's Sky, which
Yes.
Sean, the developer, mentioned that VR as an update may be happening. He was more cagey about Xbox support because I don't see that happening anytime soon.
No, I don't see it happening actually at all, to be honest.
Yeah, if you listen to the latest episode of, it's the show on Relay.fm Remaster.
Hmm.
Uh, the newest episode is all about the guy. He was an interview with the guy that brought No Man's Sky to Sony. In that story, he no longer works at Sony, but he tells a story of what it was like working with Sean, doing Joe Danger, and then hearing about No Man's Sky and the whole pitching process and all that. It's
No,
a
I'll have to check
fascinating
that
episode.
out.
It's fascinating, yeah. Um, so let's see, Vita. It's been
Remember
hacked.
that? Remember me? Yeah, I was about to say. Remember me telling you that it's dead on arrival.
It's
That is
hacked.
another good sign of how dead it is.
It got an update though, which I'm assuming patched the hack.
I honestly don't know. I looked into the hack when it came out.
Big
Um,
hack. This is like huge.
yeah, it wasn't actually as bad as the PS3 hack when the PS3 hack came out. Um, but yeah, it is a full system level hack, but it wasn't hacked in such a manner that they could basically prevent patching it.
Say it again.
It was not hacked to such a degree that they could prevent patching the hack out, because the PS3 ultimately, when it got hacked, I mean, they reached a point that even future patches, they just couldn't get rid of the hack.
Oh, really? Wow,
Yes.
it's crazy. Sony's profits, 78% come from PlayStation now.
Yes.
Boom.
It's
It's their whole company now, basically. I mean, let's be real.
it is. I mean, and it's ridiculous that a company that has so much is all of that is from one division.
I mean, I got TVs, audio receivers,
Cell phones.
phones,
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff. I'm sure they sell AA batteries as well. Um, or Inside. This is exciting. So this was an Xbox exclusive, very briefly. Inside, the sequel to Limbo. It's coming out August 23rd. It's 10 days away. on PS4. This was like a big deal when like, oh my gosh, Inside's out on Xbox One. You can't play it on PS4. This is like a really this game of the year quality game type thing. And I was not expecting this to come at all on PS4 in this time frame.
Or at least this quickly. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
it's
so quick. So I have Limbo for free on my Xbox One. I need to play it. But I'm not sure I'd probably play this on my PS4 because I like the trophies better than achievements.
wait a minute, how'd you get Inside for free?
No, I got Limbo for free.
Oh, Limbo. I'm sorry.
Xbox was Microsoft was giving it away,
Yes. Yeah, I remember that.
but August 23rd.
Yeah, it's that's probably where Microsoft is struggling the most right now is they at the end of the day they no longer have anything that is Xbox exclusive content.
You mean because
With
of PC?
yeah, but that matters. It really does.
I don't think it does really.
Really?
No, I think they all I care about is you having Microsoft OS, whether it's through Xbox or through a PC, because you're still paying money to have Microsoft OS.
I'm saying, no, and I guess yes, Microsoft is still getting the money, but
That's all they care about, though. They really
but
don't care if you're playing on Xbox or PC.
But I'm saying it's going to hurt it in the long run the Xbox brand. I mean, think about it like this: if I want to play God of War, if it doesn't start with the word PlayStation, I cannot play it.
Sure.
On the other hand, if I want to play Halo or Gears of War, I can play it on my PC, which doesn't have Xbox written anywhere in it. You know what I mean?
But I think their approach with the buy it once digitally, you get it on both Xbox and PC is kind of that's a good way to handle that too. Where it's people that are really hooked on their PC might let me get an Xbox for the living room because I already own all this library. It's kind of like the PS Plus experience where oh my gosh, I already have like 20 Vita games, and bad example was known by the Vita, but PS3 owners getting PS4s. Waiting a while, it's like, oh, I already have all these PS4 games that are in my account already. Let me get that kind of thing. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's going to hurt them in the long run.
Okay. Call of Duty remastered campaign. This is kind of interesting news here. So this is you get a month early the remaster campaign. It's just the campaign. So you get it. Let's see. On October 5th, 2016 on PS4. So if you pre-purchase Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Digital Deluxe, Digital Legacy, or Legacy Pro Editions on PS4, you get it early. It says that participating retailers only, and I'm assuming digital as well is included in that. And I believe you actually will re-download. Once the full game's out, you'll re-download basically a different version of the game, and your save should transfer over and all that good stuff. So,
yeah, Call of Duty. Yeah, I mean, it's another one of those. I don't like how the Call of Duty world, and I mean the business side of it, the exclusive DLC, the get it early, do this, do that. That series is basically one of the worst offenders in just in general. With
you're
that
upset
stuff.
because Xbox doesn't get this treatment?
Huh?
Are you angry because Xbox doesn't get the month early thing?
No, I mean, but that's just it. Is up until what at the PlayStation event or whenever they announced it, Xbox used to get DLC exclusively. I mean,
Yeah, they've switched
Sony
sides.
bought them out.
Yeah,
I still think I just think it's ridiculous.
They gotta make money somehow, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wish so this second game is not available in the $60 version. So I get that, but I kind of wish it was. I'd be like an instant buy if it was the $60 version. You get both games, but it's like a it's like a $90 version, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, that's one of those series I play in passing, but I'm not like dedicated to it.
I still need to play the Kevin Spacey one. I own it. I own that on disc actually. It's one of my few Xbox One discs. Yeah, so that's a cool deal. Cool thing. No, let's see. Oh, let's view some other VR stuff just briefly. Batman is Batman VR. Their box art says PS4 console exclusive game, meaning that it'll probably be on Oculus on PC. Is my guess. So,
Yeah.
so that's what that means, I think. And then in Japan, the box art doesn't have the "you'll need these" tag, so it's kind of interesting region to region. Where in Japan, they just assume the Japanese people are smarter and know about the eye and the move controllers and stuff. Kind of curious, but No Man's Sky. There's some drama came out with No Man's Sky. With it, well, you had the guy that bought it early. I think we talked about that like way early for
Yeah.
a way amount of money. But you had a lot of New York City stores breaking street date. You had people streaming. You had, I think, Polygon and some other sites went out to buy it to stream the unpatched version because review codes were not set out until the day before the game came out, because they were waiting for this huge patch that really changed the experience in a big way, and they want to make sure everyone had the best experience with the game, so they waited. And some people were impatient, and there's a big hoopla about day one patches and why they're needed and all this other stuff. It was,
You know
uh,
what? With a game this massive, and the fact, and I mean massive in scope, not in size, I can understand day one patches. The game still played in the first place, uh, and I'm okay with day one patches. That having been said, I have you read any of the like reviews for No Man's Sky?
it's all over the board.
It is.
And I think the more quality sites are doing these reviews in progress that they're not doing numbers yet because it's way too early to give a number on No Man's Sky, in my opinion. It's not, you can't review this game in a day or two.
Well, here's what I can tell you. IGN just posted their review, gave it a 6. And before I dive into that number, they put on there very specifically that they had, over 25 hours in the game. They said specifically they have not gotten to the center of the universe. However, they know what is at the center of the universe, so that's basically been
Okay.
spoiled for them, and that they believe that there's probably not much to change their opinion about the game by much between now and then. Um,
Did he have an issue with it doing the same stuff over and over again? Is that what is his main
Essentially,
complaint?
yes,
Or
it is a massive, vast game that's just full of repetition. Was the crux of the review, and to
if I'm
that,
exploring space, I'd probably be doing similar stuff every day to stay alive. Just saying.
yeah. Well, that having been said, I'm not going to say this game is by no means a 10. Heck, it may not even be a
No,
9. Whatever you
7 or 7.5 at least, though.
7.5, 8. Here's what I will
Six,
tell you.
six is way too the hell low.
Wherever you are going to rank it, I promise you that number is not going to do a good job really showing you what the game is.
Yeah,
This is a game you are going to have to experience,
yeah.
and
Even
it may not
people
be.
watching streams won't totally get why this is such a enthralling experience. I was listening to like some people that own Xboxes watching streams, and they didn't connect with it. It's like, I don't think that you'll connect with it via stream and explaining what you're doing, because it
No.
really is about exploring this galaxy in a fun way.
Yes.
Yeah,
And if they do put in some VR support, whew,
man. Oh, I'm just thinking about that. That's great.
yeah.
So, before I dive into more No Man's Sky news, I just want to mention one of my latest experiences with No Man's Sky. I'm on this beautiful planet, and there's this one of those huge tower things of minerals, and there was like a way marker to go there. So I decided to bust that whole thing up and
Hmm.
empty out pretty much all my inventory, except so I'd have all my ship and suit inventory for that.
Hmm.
Basically destroyed that whole thing, and then so I got all this minerals and whatever. Then I go to space and jump to the um, space station. And once I arrive at the space station, space pirates are after me, and I do get into the space station, thankfully, do not get attacked. And then I, of course, sell this massive amount of minerals. And very coolly, these minerals by this guy I encountered were, you know how the stock market, so to speak, goes
Fluctuation, yes.
100% increase over stock price.
Holy
So
shiza.
I'm now sitting at close to 500,000 units. I think I earned about 200,000 units with a little bit over 20 minutes of mining and all that.
No shiza. Well
Man,
done.
well, actually more, 300,000, about $300,000 worth. Yeah,
Wow.
isn't that amazing? Like,
That is beyond amazing.
so if you need to make money, I encourage finding these huge things and mining, and there might be a correlation with like if the planet has this huge thing, this might be in demand at the local space depot thing. Oh, it might have been a coincidence. I have no idea, no idea. But the system now is so beautiful. Like there was this. I thought I was traveling to. There's like two planets or a moon, but they're so low to the ground. I thought this huge like globe thing was like in on the planet, like just hovering above it. And I kept traveling towards it. It's like, oh no, that's actually another planet. Like not at all. But it totally looked like, and there were like little lines coming
Yeah.
around it. It's like this looks like this planet's got this crazy like orb like hovering above it, and then I discovered it's not. But it was the most beautiful thing to look at, and
Yes, when
it's
you got those planets
yeah.
like that, yeah.
And in certain lighting, it disappears entirely with like clouds and stuff. It's so curious how that all
Yeah, there
works.
are some graphical hiccups once in a while, but yeah.
But clouds, I mean, that makes sense. You can hide stuff with clouds, sure.
No, I mean like draw distances
Oh,
and
sure,
seeing through items and yeah.
sure, yeah. So that was my latest experience with No Man's Sky. Um,
Since
what is your latest experience?
well, I was about to tell you. I mean, I showed you before we started recording, but after our recording this morning, like not 10 minutes later, I walked into a building and hanging on the wall was a new gun. Uh, and since I'm a very, very aggressive person, I had to take the new gun because it also had more room for upgrades. And it had more upgrades already and had more room for additional upgrades.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and this, instead of looking like a plasma gun from Halo, which is what the normal item looks like, this looks more like an assault rifle type of thing, which fits my character. That having been said, I was on a planet, and I don't know if I hunted too many sentinels and they were tired of putting up with me, or if the sentinels were always aggressive on that planet. But I reached the point that I could not land on the planet without sentinels immediately scanning and calling in support to attack
Some
me.
planets, when you land initially, you're giving an overview of the status of that planet. One of those stats is the Sentinel status and how aggressive they are, and all of that.
I don't.
Traditionally, the more planets with really rare items will have very aggressive sentinels.
Well, here's what I can tell you. One, I'm really mad. I had to finally give up and walk away from that planet because, one, there was a crashed ship there that was better than my ship that I was going to try and repair, but I couldn't do it. Every time I got out of the ship to try and get the stuff to repair it, I was being attacked. And the planet was littered with, for lack of better terms, space debris all over the planet, as if the idea was sentinels have been killing people and leaving parts all over the place for a while now.
That is so cool.
A small part of me might go back, but like I said, I don't remember, because I don't think they were so aggressive right away. I really think I pissed them off.
You're in the directory.
So,
oh, man.
and like on this planet in particular, I managed to get away. I haven't seen it yet, but I reached the point where they said they called in the big guns.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they call it, but like an elite hunter or something like that. It said an elite hunter has arrived or something along those lines. But I was in a cave running for my life trying to make the sentinels deactivate.
So you need like grenade launchers.
This was before I got my new gun.
Okay.
So
I
who
did see some
knows?
pretty cool upgrades to a gun that had some pretty powerful weapons in there.
Yeah, I like my gun, so I'm all about that combat.
Um, any other No Man's Sky stuff?
No, I mean we did the spoiler cast,
We did.
and I don't want to
Not
drive
much this week.
everybody, make everybody drive them crazy talking about No Man's Sky. That having been said, one random, uh, it's a free game this month. Have you tried out Patapon 3 yet, Tim?
I have it in my account. I've not tried it yet.
Okay, let me know when you do. I mean, it's a cute and enjoyable game, so I'd like to know what you think of it.
Okay, will do. For topic of the show, what do you think we should do this week?
Well, we had mentioned it before. I'm okay doing a bit of a deeper talk about. Um, we can do the day one patch that you were mentioning, or we could have a shorter show this week without Aaron here and save something for later.
Um, a quick one then. Gaming websites you visited when you were. Are you too? I want to say, are you too old for like gaming websites you visited as a kid for gaming stuff, like back in the early days? I should just say the early days, like the '90s, when you printed out like things to follow.
Actually, in the 90s, the main website I went to was GameFAQs. Like, where you're reading everything. There's not pictures telling you, and it's nothing but written guides left, right, and
Yeah,
center.
yeah, I did a lot of those. Um, this website popped up on my radar this week. Cheat Code Central. This
Hmm.
was I forgot this site existed. This was one of my major sites as a kid. Do you remember Cheat Code
Yeah.
Central?
Yes, I do. Like I said, I mean, I was a big game fact, but honestly, even I have to go further back than that. And I remember being on Prodigy and AOL and having like specific channels for gaming that were really just message boards. They When I first got into gaming, yeah, there weren't a whole lot of specific websites for gaming.
No, not in the NES era.
No, not like they are now, and if you did find a website, you'd be lucky to have pictures, less you have video. So, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else this week?
No, no. I mean, it's
You just been
it's
playing
been
No Man's Sky? Anything else?
well, that and Overwatch. Actually, yeah. Let me real quick talk about. Besides, I like Overwatch. Um, I have got to give it to Blizzard because Overwatch currently it launched with 21 characters, but they already added a 22nd character free of charge. Everybody gets her. Um, but on the PC trailer
Mm-hmm.
for they basically are doing like a Summer Olympics time on Overwatch, and on the PC trailer there was uh, just a random code and all sorts of other stuff. Long story short, they are doing this insane viral marketing campaign that looks like they are pointing towards a 23rd character reveal, and it's one of those uh, to help. I was trying not to go too into the details, but to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, there's a character called Tracer who has the ability to move so fast she kind of leaves a blur behind. Well, on the PC version of the Rio Olympics special mode that they introduced, one of her blur trails has an encrypted number inside of it. And then actually before even that video, there was another video that on the PC version, it ended with like fuzz slash snow, like a signal cutting off on TV,
Yeah.
but they've never done that before. Well, somebody was able to take that and run it through an algorithm that sliced out pieces and was able to rearrange it, and it generated a QR code that when you read the QR code in Spanish, it said, uh, "Did you like that? Wasn't that easy? Let's try something harder."
Hmm.
So I mean, there's just so many clues pointing to this 23rd character, and what's everybody else is talking about now is the character's name has been revealed. It's Sombra, kind of like sombrero, but and he's going to be the 23rd character. The number 23 was integral in finding out at least one of the ciphers, and this summer games that they're doing ends on August 22nd. So they think more information is probably going to get revealed, if not him being released out of nowhere, on the 23rd. So I appreciate a company taking that extra mile on that viral marketing where it's just making people want to find more.
That's very cool. It's very cool. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I think
Yep.
that's it. Very cool. Mr. Jason, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Y'all can find me as Risen Devil, RISNDEVIL, on pretty much all the networks, or JR Novak is my handle on Twitter.
Are you sharing any No Man's Sky screenshots anywhere?
Not yet. I actually just started taking some. I do think I will end up uploading and or sharing some of my No Man's Sky because there's just so much there to
The
experience
screenshots
the
are
whole
fun.
game. Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody is going to have to upload lots of stuff to be able to let anybody experience the full game.
I agree. Yeah. I've been doing some streaming, so occasionally you'll find that on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/TCHATEN. You can go to twitter.com. My handle there is at tchen. Doing some No Man's Sky screenshots there. And we'll be back next time for level 5 of the show with Aaron. And stay tuned. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye.
Bye.